All right, guys, so I got everything unpacked and assembled with basically little to no difficulty. I'm going to give you guys a close-up look at some of these sculpts in just a second, but the models are really nice. I did a bit of a size comparison to some of the other miniatures I have from games like Bolt Action, Warhammer Fantasy, Warhammer 40K, Kings of War, that kind of stuff. And the models, these minis in comparison, they are a little bit bigger. But part of that also is because of just the thickness of their base, which is almost like, a quarter to a half inch off the ground. Well, not half inch, that's pretty extreme, I think. But yeah, it really lifts the model up quite a bit. And so I put actually this Darth Vader model beside a Warhammer Fantasy troll that I had. And the troll is like a large creature. It's on a 40 millimeter square base, and Vader was almost the size of that on his own base. So they are pretty good, but they're pretty big rather. But what I find is that really works to their favor. These minis feel to be exactly the right size of what you want them to be. They feel like the same kind of size as almost plastic toy soldiers that you had when you were a kid. Especially when you're kind of picking up and holding them. So what the box gives you is essentially, and if you've been following the game longer, you know this already. But for the Rebels, you've got Luke Skywalker as your kind of leader of the Rebel team. Two squads of Rebel troopers, and they give you enough miniatures to basically have a unique person in each squad. Like not every single one of them is unique, but like each squad won't have duplicates. And they give you two of each special weapon. So you've got the like light repeater blaster guy here, and I think this guy is a bit of an ion cannon type of dude. I haven't looked at the cards yet, but they give you two for each. As you can see, there's the two in the middle there. And then of course you get the AT-RT. This is the only one I didn't finish putting together because you have three different types of weapon mods that can go in its little holster thing there, if you can see that. You can go with a flamethrower, a light blaster cannon, or a repeating blaster cannon. And I didn't glue that on yet because I wanted to try a couple games and kind of see what they were like before I really decided which one to throw in there. I know you can probably magnetize them and all that kind of thing, but I've never really been that into the modeling aspect. And usually people are pretty understanding if it has a flamer and you say, no, now it has a repeater blaster. But of course, check with your opponent. So anyways, I'm leaving that. Sorry if you can hear the squeaks. My dog is playing her own game. And then on the Imperial side, you've got, of course, Darth Vader as your leader with a couple Stormtrooper squads, much like the Rebel squads, to give you two of each. So you've got your rocket launcher here, you've got your light repeater blaster there. And same kind of thing where it's all, for the most part, uniques. I did notice that the Stormtroopers have a couple duplicates. And so that's all right, though. I mean, they're Stormtroopers. They're kind of supposed to be the faceless enemy almost. And then, of course, you get your pair of speeder bikes. And here I actually did make a little mistake putting one of them together. You'll see that this one, it has a spot to glue on the underbelly, the gun turret, as well as where your peg goes in. So I put this guy together first, actually, and everything was fine. And then the second one, I just kind of got lost in what I was doing. And you see I accidentally swapped it as I actually glued the gun into where the peg should go, but found that the peg was the same shape as where the blaster should go. It just doesn't go as deep. So I glued it in and I kind of held it in place for a while, and the base is big enough that it still keeps it balanced and everything's fine. I'll just have to be a bit gentle with that one when kind of playing around with it. So you also get your 8 barricades, but two sets of 4. The barricades are not totally the same. You see this particular one looks like this on this side, and then looks like this on that side, whereas the other one looks like this on that side, and this on the inside. So I thought that was kind of neat, just a nice little touch. You've got your range ruler here for establishing range for shots, and that disassembles into 4 separate pieces, so you can have it as long as you need it to be, and it's easy for storage. And one thing that I found kind of interesting was that one end of this is capped, like that, and that's obviously the end of your ruler. The other end of it, though, kind of has room for expansion. So I'm curious if maybe later on in this game's life they might release artillery pieces or different types of vehicles that can shoot even longer than this at range 4. And then of course you have your maneuver templates. These click together kind of like the Armada move templates, but they're not ribbed kind of thing. So they just kind of easily spin like this. There's no clicking to them. Nothing's going to wear out on the inside. It's almost on a track. So you've got kind of like your slow troops, your regular troops, and faster troops. So, speeders will use this, infantry will use this, and things like Darth Vader will use this. But Vader can just choke you from afar, right? So who cares? Then you got your dice. Your square ones, I believe from watching other videos, are your defense dice, and your D8s, your unique D8s, are your attack dice. And there's been a lot of this going around. I'd kind of done a medium amount of research into it, but in looking through it, it seems like white are the worst type of dice when it comes to firing away. They have the most misses on them. Blacks would be next in line with less misses on them. And then red dice seem to only have one miss space on them. And I know it depends on what's firing them and special abilities on cards, but they do seem to be kind of like the heavy hitter dice, the red ones. So yeah, that's a little peek at kind of everything that comes in there. I'll give you another close-up of some of these miniatures and just do a quick survey so you can take a peek at what some of these look like. I really like them. I think they're very nice. They were very easy to put together. Most of these Stormtroopers, and I don't know if the expansion packs will be the same or not, but these base set Stormtroopers and Rebels, for the most part, was just gluing their arms on. And on that note, I'm going to share something with you that I really liked. If you're going to have models where both arms are holding one weapon and they need to be attached to the body, what Fantasy Flight did here was the arms and hands and everything already come attached to the weapon, and you just basically have to pincer them onto the body, which is a lot easier to put together and glue than trying to line up one arm with the other arm with the hands that are on the weapon and making sure that they're glued tight enough so that there's no gaps and you don't have to do any extra work. I thought that was just, for peace of mind, it was really easy. You'll notice that there's relatively few gaps between areas. There's maybe a little one there if you really wanted to nitpick, but again, some green stuff can fix that. But I mean, your average one, like, let's see, I'll grab I don't know, here's a leader. Here's a Stormtrooper squad leader. Pretty flawless. Like, you can't really see anywhere. And anywhere where it doesn't completely connect, they made sure to put, like, oh, that's the undersuit under the armor, right? So it looks pretty good when it's all put together. And I do intend to paint all these. I just got the game today, though, and I wanted to get it to a point where these models were ready to kind of be primed and painted by myself and a few other members of the community, but also so that I could start to get a couple games in and learn the rules and see how to play and that kind of thing. So I'm very interested to kind of get started and trying things out. I have not really dug into the cards. I have not really dug into the rules. Like I said, I just wanted to get all this ready to go. But yeah, this is what you get in the starter set. And thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.